Yo, and today we're talking about the new episode of The Real Housewives of New York City. That's episode 6 of this new era season, which is season 14. The episode starts with Ubah and Erin at a jewelry store. It's a very, very expensive place. Ubah suggested that Erin go there and borrow some of that jewelry for her party that she was going to be having. This jeweler, he makes jewelry for the stars. Ubah met him at some charity event. And the things there are $500,000 a piece. It's crazy. Then we see Brynn and Jessel, and they're at a clothing store, also looking for something to wear for this party. Jessel asks Brynn about her dating life because Brynn has been engaged 3 times, and she recently just went on a date and left the guy at a party. So she might have some commitment issues that she might need to work on. So then Jessel mentions Erin's invite to the party because at the bottom of the invitation, there was a little, very little letters, but it was a list of sponsors for her party. So they're shading her about that. As far as Jessel's issues with Erin, Jessel says, you know what, I already apologized. I'm not doing it again, but I think things are okay. And then her and Brynn say that Erin has had a problem with both of them. With Jenna, who left her house, with Sai. So they're saying that Erin, might be the common denominator. We move on to Jenna doing her thing. She's in her element. Obviously, fashion is her thing, but she's also trying to do some interior design. So she's having a lot of fun doing that. She calls an actress whose house she's currently working in, and they talk a little bit about that. So then Erin and her husband are going on a date. Just the two of them. They're reminiscing on their relationship, how they met each other, and now they're also talking about this 10-year anniversary party that they're having, where they're going to be, having some vows that they need to write. They actually got married pretty young. He also surprises her after dinner. He gives her a very nice, pricey ring, and she's very surprised and very thankful to get that from him. Next scene is Jessel. She calls her husband to come to the kitchen. He was in the room, but she wants them to go over these applications for their kids. She really wants them to go to this uppity, high-end school that's $62,000 tuition. That's ridiculous, and I guess she probably wants the best for her kids, don't get me wrong. But they're so little, they're not even, old enough to go to school. The next scene is also a couple scene. It's Sai and her husband. Sai is filling her husband David in on some of the drama between Erin and Jessel. And he, for the second time, defends Jessel, rightfully so. He says, this lady just had her twins. She returned to work pretty quickly. And if somebody was questioning me and calling me pampered, I'd be upset too. And Sai realizes that he's right. And then she tells him about Erin's party. Then it's the day for the party. Everybody's getting ready. We see them doing that. But then Erin gets a call from Ubah. Unfortunately, she's not going to be able to go because she's sick. She tested positive. And we get to the party. It was out of this world. The venue was incredible. It was super big. And as you know, it was sponsored. But it was, if I'm having an event and it's going to be that extravagant and people are going to sponsor it, then I'm going to go ahead and accept it because it was really nice. Also, remember how Erin got those super expensive jewels? Well, apparently the jewelry place has to send a bodyguard guy to be there for her to return them at the end of the night. That's crazy. So the guests begin to arrive. Brynn gets there flirting with every man in sight. Jessel and her husband get there, and Erin greets her very nicely. It looks like they really are trying to move past everything. Jenna came in grabbing Erin's butt, and then all the women are there except for Ubah. And guess who we see, y'all? Miss Meredith Marks. But then I remembered, oh yeah, it's New York. If you know, you know. But let's talk about Brynn real quick because her behavior was out of line and out of pocket at this party. She starts to say that she's bored. Somebody in the background accidentally broke a glass, and then she screams, "Don't worry, it's sponsored." That's not even the worst part. When Erin's husband came to say hi to everyone, Brynn says to him, "So when you're ready to get a divorce, I'm single here waiting for you." he tries to laugh it off. He makes a joke and says something about the vows. And Brynn says, oh, well, if you haven't, given your vows out, then you're not married. And he's like, oh, no, I have a contract with her. I have obligations. And then again, jokingly. And she says, oh, well, we know plenty of ways to get out of a contract. She was out of control. And then she started talking about she wanted to be with Erin's dad and she wanted to be her stepmom. I'm sure she was joking, but there's just jokes that you don't do. Something else that was interesting that happened was that there was this guy that some of the women were saying that he was attractive or whatever. And then Jenna says, oh, maybe I'll go flirt with him since I'm single. They're shocked because they didn't know that she broke up with the girl she was dating. And you can tell by the way Jenna was telling them what happened. She's still hurt by it. Apparently, the girlfriend wanted more privacy. Trying to connect the dots, and perhaps once the girl found out Jenna was joining the Real Housewives of New York, that's probably when it happened. But she does say that she would date a guy again if he was the right one. And then Jessel tries to cheer her up by inviting her to a three-way with her husband. So then they begin the ceremony. They had some people give little speeches, but it was very long. It was speaker after speaker after speaker. But Brynn couldn't help herself. She was making these rude, passive-aggressive comments under her breath. They were planning on dipping and going to a restaurant. It got so bad that Erin's sister had to approach them and tell them to zip it because they were being rude. And instead of just saying okay, Brynn and Sai are acting all gangster and saying, well, are you going to go tell the other people to shut up also? Like, just shut up or get out. It's like that simple. I mean, even though they're right, it was a little bit boring, but this is their event. Don't do that. That's plain outright disrespect. But then Erin and her husband give each other their vows in front of everyone. It was really nice. Then the dancing begins. They're all having some fun. But Sai is making comments about her being hungry. And come on now, Erin. You're going to have this fabulous event with no dinner for these people. She just had little sample-sized bites. Like, come on now, you gotta do better. Like, that's what you do, little caviar Pringles in your trip, and now you're gonna get pigs in a blanket for your engagement. Do better. So then Sai leaves to go get a burger or a taco or something, but she didn't say goodbye. She just left. So when all the girls got together with Erin to have some, like, a cast picture, Erin found out that Sai left without saying goodbye, and she got very upset. But that's how the episode ended. So yeah, we're starting to get to know these girls a little bit more, so it doesn't feel... Now when I watch it, it doesn't feel like I'm watching, like, new women. I feel like by now I kind of know them. So it didn't... In that way, it's interesting to see now the story move along and, all the drama. But Brynn was definitely, what she did was wrong. But you guys, let me know in the comments, what did you thought about this episode? What did you think about Erin's party? And what did you think about Brynn's behavior at the party? Let me know, you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.